Welcome back. The Defense Logistics Agency has a new enterprise resource planning system online now after it finished a 24-month timeline in 16 months. Agencies across government say they're using ERP modernizations to transform their business practices too. Amy Giovannucci is Platform's Capability Lead and Managing Director for Accenture Federal Services. Amy, welcome. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
What do the agencies that do transitions well have in place before they get started with ERP transitions?
I think the agencies that are doing it well are really thinking through it and not thinking as the ERP as the one-stop shop or the one-size-fits-all anymore, and really incorporating the ways that the technology ecosystem has evolved in the last couple of decades since we last did ERP implementations, and really utilizing like low-code platforms, process mining, and looking at ways to take the really complex workflows where ERPs may have not been the way to go initially, right? And kind of we forced it in and really taking a step back and assessing what they have today and using some of those other technologies.
What is changing in the deployment of ERPs and the construction and the transitions of digital modernization of them specifically relative to the broader digital modernization efforts that agencies are undertaking? I
think what's changing really is just all those other players out there, right, in the technology ecosystem to really help us get there. ERPs are really good, right? They've been the backbone of our business operations for decades, but we really need to modernize with the other technologies to really have that full digital transformation. So I think it's really looking outside the box and having those complementary technologies like AI, machine learning, RPA, to really focus on automation, process mining for process improvement, to really build out the ERP, utilize it for what it's used really good at, and really looking at those other technologies and thinking through it. Don't rush.
I mentioned business process modernization at the beginning of our conversation too. How much of the thinking of the preparation that goes into an ERP transition is conceptual like that versus tactical, we need to do these things and implement these technologies?
I think process improvement and really assessing your processes is key. Thinking through what could really stay in the ERP today, what could use some improvements upon it, and what should be in a low-code platform so that you can be flexible and scalable and really kind of transitioning from a real business model to thinking about your employees, right, and your customers, and having that real employee experience with some of these other platforms.
All right, you've shouted out low code twice already, and that's okay. What are the other pieces that leaders should be thinking about in these kinds of transitions that may not be something that's top of mind necessarily?
I think really thinking about different analytics, reporting, DevOps tools, operational tools to kind of being reactive, moving to that more proactive mindset and solutions, but also process mining. I know I keep going back to process improvement.
That's okay.
But you know, it's very important, right, to look at this. This is a great time to really kind of clean house, clean up our processes, and have the ability to design and implement them for how we want to use them today and be flexible to scale in the future.
We have a little bit more than a minute left. I want to go back to this idea of conceptual thinking versus tactical.
Okay. When
you go and talk to folks for the first time, how much of the conversations revolve around we needed to do this, and how much of them revolve around I wonder if we could do this, those kinds of things, to try to think about more than just paving the cow path, to use the old term?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing is really thinking about the design, incorporating the different personas and using human-centered design in how you're going to design for an experience versus just getting that business process correct and implemented into the technical system. So I think really having your users in mind and really thinking through each use case and how their experience is going to differ.
Quick final thought, how do you best get into the user's head to figure that out?
Oh, great question. I think it's really talking through and sitting in their shoes and understanding what their outcomes are trying to be versus just kind of the business owner.
Amy, thanks very much for joining me. It's great to have you here.
Thank you.
You can read more about digital transformation across government at fedgovtoday.com. Up next, working on one of America's biggest healthcare crises ever, earn some HHS leaders some special recognition. You'll meet one of them when FedGov Today with Francis Rose continues in a moment.